What is what is up, Bucs fans? We are back, and it is Saturday night. We are live. It's good to get this offseason going in the right direction as far as getting closer to actual football activities. A lot has been taking place as far as like free agency, draft, all that stuff. The schedule is out finally. So, Mark, it feels good. Like we're only a few months away, crazy or not, but we are getting closer and closer each day.
Yeah, it's excitement. I mean, you got the schedule came out. Everyone's talking about how we're not going to win any games. I mean, national media.
Yeah.
Buck fans know what's going on. And it's just fun to entertain the ideas of what your record's going to be, how good or bad we're going to be, how the coaches are going to. We had a lot of the coaches speak too. Everyone, offense and defensive coaches, or mainly defensive coaches and special teams. But a lot to hear about that and how some of them are contradicting in what they're saying. We'll talk more on that.
Right.
So, I mean, to be honest, there's a lot of stuff to talk about, fun, entertaining stuff. And again, I want to also expand on the optimistic side of the Bucs schedule and then pessimistic side. Like, what if there's all these things do match up great and we actually do come up to these records that we should be? Or what if there is injuries? What if there is a drop off because Grizzard isn't as good as Cohen? What if the defense doesn't get changes, right? So there's a whole lot of things I want to talk about today, and that's why we're live and we're ready to rock and roll.
Yep, absolutely. It's going to be definitely a good show. So hope you guys are joining us here on your Saturday evening. I have trying to get a funny, I guess you call them GIF, or because my hair looks like this guy. Let me see if I can get this in here. I just noticed it. The resemblance is on point. So let's see if this pops up. No, it doesn't. But yeah, but that's the guy. That's the guy right there. Pepper Brooks. Yeah,
Pepper needs new shorts. I hope you say that a lot this year during games. Put it that way.
Yeah, that would be funny.
That's going to be added to the soundtrack, the soundboard, 100%.
Right. But yeah, I mean, yeah, just looking at this, like you talked about it, how like people are still not picking the Bucs to win the division. You see it here. Even AI thinks we're not good enough to win the division. Crap. They have the
crap, mega crap.
It will be
they have the Falcons at the division winner and 4th overall. So I think that's pretty. I mean, I guess it's the norm now, being the Bucs, winning the last 4 division titles. I guess that's what we should expect. I mean, other people have been picking against us throughout this whole time, so not surprised.
Yeah, just Jason Light's going to keep smiling and just trolling on everyone, because if you just, when are you going to get it? I mean, maybe after 5 years? I mean, yeah, we'll talk about it, but I mean, realistically, again, like there's a lot of additions and subtractions from not just our team, but the whole division. Like, I don't see where the Falcons can be doing that. I don't know. I mean, I just see so many people. You would think they'd learn from last year. Yeah, but no, let's go away from the norm, which is the team that's won it 4 years in a row, and let's keep going with the Cam Jordan thought process. They're just going to return to the norm. Well, the norm is 4 years in a row, could be 5. So let's see.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you. I think what a lot of people are falling into is they see that Jaden Daniels season last year, and they just think, oh, young quarterback, Michael Penix Jr., he's going to have that type of season where he just, takes off in year 2, has a, I guess, better team around him going into this year with, they can run the full offense now as opposed to what Kirk Cousins provided them. Yeah, I agree, David, you're on it. But I think it's funny that there's a lot of projections out there instead of going with what and who has time and time again won that division, or at least found a way. Of course, at the same time, looking at it from a different perspective, the Buccaneers really haven't taken control of the division. They haven't run away with it. It always comes down to those last couple of weeks. So I get that standpoint, and maybe that's why they're looking at it and saying, well, the Bucs eventually are going to have to lose this division, and maybe that's this year. So we'll just have to see. But yeah, I mean, it's funny.
I mean, but also to this point goes to show AI still ain't that smart. AI can only give you information based off the retard that's giving it information. So there's probably some dumb media member saying, "Oh, based on the NFC South, how good the Falcons are looking, their young talent,
Yeah.
Raheem Morris up and rise. Are they likely to win the NFC South?" Like, it's how you word it to AI. It's not a person with emotions. It's just going to spit out information. So,
Mhm.
hey, if it's a dumb person giving it information, it's going to give you dumb information. And that's usually what national media is. So that's
Yeah.
why you're here at Real Bucks Talk. We're trying to give you the real information.
Yeah, this is pretty funny. AI still knows we have Dean. Yeah.
And Logan Hall.
Um,
Never
yeah.
mind. Maybe it's right. No, but Aikman and
funny.
Shit with Dean, supply and demand is hot on a Saturday night.
Yeah, a lot of Jamel Dean, still, I guess, doubters out there, and rightfully so. The guy just hasn't been able to stay healthy. But I think a lot of people forget when he is on the field, he's actually pretty good. He's more than capable of being a NFL every down corner. A lot of people forget, like, he's one of our best tackling corners too. He doesn't really miss tackles. I think that's important, especially in the run game. He does a really good job there. So I think with the added competition, and we talked about Jacob Parrish and Ben Morrison, like, that should help him, be pushed and hopefully bring his game to the next level. But we'll see. As we continue on, here's another one, Mark. Let me bring this back up on the screen. Another one that picks the Panthers to win the division, which is, I mean, I think the Panthers have a real shot of competing for that number 2 spot in the NFC South. I think they could be potentially better than the Atlanta Falcons just because of the run they went on last year. They have some momentum coming into this season, but what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm with you where, I mean, Canales is very stubborn, but he's very consistent. Let's put it that way. So, and with most teams, consistency is the issue. Like, general managers just want to win, win, win. They're so quick to pull the trigger and go on to the next best shiny thing. Dave Canales, although we know who he is, but believe it or not, they got better throughout the year. And they just got their bread and butter plays that they work. They added a giant receiver. I think they're going to hope he's just like Mike Evans. No one's Mike Evans until proven otherwise, right? Everyone's comp of Drake London was Mike Evans. So just because you're big doesn't mean you're Mike Evans. But I mean, you brought him in. You still have Thielen. You brought in the receiver from Oakland. What was his name? He's coming out of retirement, but another guy that's very much a veteran.
Hunter Renfrow.
Renfrow. There you go. And so that offense is getting some juice. That, he's going to want to run the ball. So they got actually some pieces on defense. So I can actually see them being competitive. And I mean, Bryce Young, although he had 1 year stint of like bad play, he showed up in second half of last year. He wasn't like a first overall pick, guys. Remember, we have a first overall pick in Baker that people lost faith in. And now look at him. He's looking like the real deal. So, I mean, hey, Dave Canales knows how to use mobile quarterbacks and get them to do things that they like to do. Does Todd Bowles know how to work with what he already knows about him? Maybe. But still, they're a very competitive group, and I can see them being an up-and-coming team.
Yeah, I just want to shout out Bucs RB Beast. He's having a really good night.
I'm joining you, brother.
As he says, he's feeling some sort of way. So good to see you in
type of way.
But he was talking about, and this is, we'll get into this as we get closer to it. But obviously, the Bucs play Atlanta Week 1, which I think is a perfect opportunity to start the season, and it's going to be a lot of fun to dissect that matchup as we get closer. If you want to check out our schedule reaction video that came out today, be sure to check that out. We did talk about that a little bit. I also made the bold take of the Bucs shouldn't lose a division game this year. So be sure to check that out. And we talked a lot of good things in that video as well. But yeah, to this point, I mean, the Panthers making that kind of jump, I don't know. We still have to see it. I want to see things happen before I'm going to go out and not pick the Buccaneers to win this division, because right now, when you look at the Bucs team, they have everything in place on offense. They should be better on that area with the addition of Mecca Ibuka. And then on defense, I think you've added the right parts. You added a pass rusher, a proven pass rusher in Hassan Reddick that you're hoping can find that fire again and hopefully have a really good year. Yaya Diaby and Kalijah Cansey aren't going to get worse. They should continue to get better. And then Servassier Dennis, I think, is probably the biggest X factor when you look at it. If that guy's healthy, linebacker group is way better overall. So that should be a lot of fun to see how it plays as we get closer to training camp, see who's winning those secondary battles, who's getting the positions, and then hopefully all that stuff irons out by, week 1 for sure.
Also, guys in the chat, I love it. Keep it up. I love the banter back and forth between, it looks like a Falcons fan, Buck fan. Hey, bring it, right? Let's hear what you got. But
yeah,
no, like what you were jumping off what you were saying, like also the linebacker room. We did a video about that, the inside linebacker room. Also, Mike Caldwell, welcome back, right? The linebackers coach. He came out and said publicly, he's like, well, behind Levante David, it's a competition. They're not even penciling in. I know Levante is your number one, hands down. Jason Light, Todd Bowles have all been saying instinctive guy of Servassier Dennis. We're like, oh, just stay healthy, just stay healthy. They're saying it's a competition between the veterans of Deion Jones, Anthony Walker, and Servassier. They're not even pencil him in yet. So that was interesting for me to hear, considering that Servassier didn't even win it out last year against KJ Britt. Hey, you never know. Even though I think it's his to lose, still, like, you're facing veterans that know what the hell they're doing. Deion Jones, in a limited capacity, showed very well things to me in his short time here. And I think, to me, it's still, what is that special teams aspect going to look like? Because I don't know how some of these veterans are going to be playing special teams.
Right.
Some of these young guys are going to have to do it. So, and we lost our 2 lead tacklers, I think, for special teams last year. I know everyone seems that it's like so insignificant of a special teams player, but I mean, what was his name? The backup safety / nickelback from the Texans that we got.
Oh yeah, that's oh crap. Now I can't think of his name.
Yeah, right. But he was there. He was a leading tackler. JJ Russell was a leading tackler. I doubt he makes the team.
Oh, Tavier Thomas.
Thomas. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, special teams wise, that will be definitely something to watch as we get closer to training camp. I would expect most of the rookies are going to contribute there. I think David Walker, you're going to see on special teams. You're going to see Elijah Roberts, same thing. The 2 corners probably going to be on special teams. Safeties, a lot of safeties will be filling those roles, especially like Christian Izien, Kayvon Merriweather. Yeah, so
he's player not on the team right now.
Yeah, exactly. We do have a super chat. There it is from Meeks McGee. Much appreciated, my man. We appreciate all the support. He says he has a very bad feeling about the Falcons' first 7 games. There's maybe 2 wins in those first 7 games. Okay, well, we'll take it. I mean,
that's a pessimistic Falcons fan. AI is saying you're going to win it easy.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the thing. You don't know, right? Right now, like, we're hooting and hollering how things should be, but I'm set in stone. If the Bucs lose that first game, I'm pissed as hell, and that's against the Falcons in a way. But still, it's just like when you look at the rosters on paper, it's one thing. I remember from years back, Jerome Bettis said the Bucs are paper champions. Their defense was phenomenal, but we just couldn't ever get anywhere past over the hump with Tony Dungy. Then Gruden comes in. I mean, see, it matters how you play the game. Like Herman Edwards says, you play to win the games, and you can cough it up like Bucky Irving did last year in the Falcons' home and you lose the damn game. It was a shootout. You lost the game because you fumbled it at the wrong time. So it can happen. So in our division games, we just shit the bed nonstop. And plus his statement of we shouldn't lose a damn division game, I honestly agree based off of the experience we have, the talent that's on the team, and from what last year Liam Cohen said and what you're still hearing now, it's players over plays. The players on this damn team, it's stacked across the board. It's depth across the board now too. It's young talent, but it's also proven players. Like they got to be able to stand up and just show what the hell type of caliber team they are week after week, not just be this team that thinks they're something and then gets called out by another team. Falcons, on the other hand, they got a lot to prove. So from last year's shambles, let's see. I mean, you're starting with your guy you drafted. There's a reason why Ra went out and got his guy. We've seen that from the years past with him getting Josh Freeman. Ra is a hell of a good coach at halftime. He can make adjustments on the fly. So I know that from experience seeing it. So I don't know. That's why it's tough against the Falcons.
Yeah, I think when you look at those last last year's matchups against them, a lot of it was, unfortunate turnovers, bad timing with the offensive turnovers, the mistakes there that cost you points, and then defensively just couldn't get stops when you needed to. Allowed too many points in the first half of both games against them, where a lot of it could have been just erased, and again, it came at times where the Buccaneers were going through some changes defensively. I think it was after those Atlanta games where they finally figured out, okay, we're going to lean into something that is the only thing that's working, and that's blitz, and more blitzing. And that's what they did in the second half of the season. And you also, going into that Thursday night game, you had to change your linebacking rotation or however you wanted to play it. You lost Servasi for the year, so that was a big loss. On top of that, I think it was the second game that was at home. I'm not sure if we had Jamel Dean for that game, and I think you had some other injuries that guys were out. So yeah, just a lot of things that happen. Again, I see those as excuses, but I think they are better suited this year to handle those excuses because of the depth that you've added especially at corner. When Bryce Hall is your fifth corner, that makes you feel good. It makes you feel more relieved that you don't have to lean on guys that just probably shouldn't be in the NFL right now. Or at least they're not developed enough to play NFL snaps. But to that point, I know we kind of talked about a little bit of everything so far, but
right.
Obviously the Buccaneers, I put out the message, are the Bucs the underdog or the favorite? And right now I would say lean towards that underdog mentality. And I think that's okay with the Buccaneers. It seems like they just continue to creep, they're like creeping behind the scenes there. And then finally they'll make a late run where they get into the playoffs. And 2 years ago, they did something. They got to the divisional round. Now we're hoping we can take that next step and get into maybe the NFC Championship game or further. So, yeah, I mean, but I wanted to point that out about the communication with the secondary. I know we talked about it a little bit, but I don't know if you guys in the chat have heard the comments from our secondary coaches, because they are just they're all over the place. And it's no wonder why this defense has communication problems, because the two coaches have communication problems themselves as far as talking to each other. It seems like they just don't want anybody offering help, or like they seem very defensive in that regard. So I think that is, I'm right there with you. They're definitely weird. It seems like they're trying to protect something or don't want to hear the criticisms that are coming forth. So I think that is something, it's very strange for sure.
Yeah. So Rapone comes off extremely just like very doesn't want to answer things, very straightforward. And then So yeah, like I'll try and bring them up while we're talking about this, but like our safeties coach Rapone, very, very dry. Let's put it that
Yeah.
way. If there's a better word you can use, tell me what it is. But very dry, and he was saying how I know the big new thing is that Todd Bowles wants everyone to meet. Right. Well, what a revelation! A team defense has to meet to figure out what the calls are, just so everyone's on the same page. You would think that's a smart thing to do, a logical thing to do, right? If your team's like a family, you should do that. Check in. Kevin Ross, on the other hand, said, "Oh, we were doing that during the Super Bowl season, and it worked." But Rapone saying, "No, we didn't do that during the Super Bowl season, and we won a Super Bowl."
Yeah.
So who the hell is the right one? Who do you believe? And they're just not matching up correctly. And then one seems so aggressive against it. Another one seems like, I guess it worked. So it's just weird. It's just weird the fact that it's not a united front saying, "Oh yeah, we all believe in this." And then like just to see how they were referring to George Edwards, how he's just walking around looking into rooms. Good for him. Maybe you guys need that step down, like to just to get checked at. Like, okay, well, clearly someone's not understanding something. So what are you installing in every week that they're not getting from what the edge rushers are supposed to do and how your guys are reacting to it? So, I mean, again, defense is reactionary. These guys need to all be on the same page if something gets pushed their way that they weren't expecting. You shouldn't be unexpected anything, right?
Yeah, Mark Andrew brings up a good point here about Casey Rogers. He departs, goes to Detroit Lions to be their defensive line coach. We bring in Charlie Strong, who also was another like just character of a press conference in that one. But yeah, I think he was one of the better coaches on this staff. You know, he's been with Todd Bowles for, all of them have been with Todd Bowles for a while, but Casey Rogers was kind of like that right-hand man. He was really good as far as with the defensive line, as far as the defensive tackles, helping Kalijah Cansey, Vita Vea, all these guys get better. So that would be definitely something to watch early. That's something that I think is going to be interesting. But yeah, I mean, the coaches just like, I don't understand like how you can't be on the same page. Like you should just want success. And like, I think it's good. It's credit to Todd Bowles for like noticing that and trying to make that change. But got another super chat here. Meets McGee again. Appreciate it, man.
Let the big dog eat. Woo!
Bucs not losing that first game. Tighter coverage, better pass rush. Plus, you given Bulls a full offseason game plan. We're kicking their teeth in. So yeah, I mean, I'm with you there. I think it's gonna be definitely tighter coverage, and that's something that Zion McCollum talked about over there on Pewter Report. So that is something I think, yeah, it makes sense, because if you're trying to get the ball out fast, you should be up on the line and contesting these plays. You got to be in position to make interceptions, and if you're not, then how are you supposed to make those plays? Like you got to be a little bit more aggressive, especially in the secondary, to make stuff like that happen. And the front and the back end have to work together to create those turnovers. That's what we all want. So that way you can put the offense more on the field and hopefully get more points because of that.
Like you just said, they need to be in communication together, right? So if they're going to be more aggressive, like Zion McCollum was saying, it's got to be tying in with the pass rush. Like if they're sending in guys, you got to be able to be up close to force the decision to be an errant throw or a throwaway, because they're like, holy shit, the guy's not playing back. And he said, really, the coaches, his DB coaches, Rapone, Kevin Ross, were saying, listen, you can play it how you want. You can play off. You can play close. Just play this assignment, though. No. If we're sending in the house, you better be aggressive on their ass so that the QB has to think, holy shit, I can't throw into that window because it's way too damn tight. I got to throw it down or away for the defender and make it harder for my own man to catch it because I don't want to throw an interception, right?
Yep.
So that's what we're talking about, the team working together. Like if the defensive line and linebackers are coming in. Like Mike Caldwell said, we could be just winning with 4, or it could be 5, 6, 7.
Yeah.
If 7 are going in and the DBs are playing 10 yards back, you're making a decision easy for the quarterback. Holy shit, all these guys coming out.
Yeah.
Ball's coming out immediately. No, it shouldn't be that. That's
Yeah.
why it needs to be working together. And this bullshit of, oh, well, we won a Super Bowl without doing it. And then you have contradicting stuff like, and that's where people get pissed off with Todd Bowles because demeanor when they're talking. You don't come across as a likable guy. Todd Bowles got nothing but good reviews from Charlie Strong. He's a master communicator to the guys. He in the locker room, he is that dude. He can communicate well. He keeps it within you and the player. He's great. To the media, he's just like, frickin', who gives a shit? I don't have to talk. I'm paid to talk to you guys. What do you want? But that, like this DB room, you're clearly seeing and hearing it from your players what the hell's going on. So that thank you, Todd. Thank you, Todd, for making that change and hopefully forcing some of these old heads to kind of see maybe we do need a little sprinkle it up to communicate better.
Yeah, for sure. Meets McGee with another super chat. Appreciate it. No KJ, no KJ Britt to pick on. So yeah, I think that's important. That that's definitely the upgrades right there of adding Anthony Walker. I think is going to be a very underrated move. Bringing him in, who can also pass cover, be in the right spots. Then Deion Jones, we saw what he did in limited time. His ability to come in and provide something, I think, will be important. And Servassier, he's got a big season ahead for him. Obviously a lot riding in on this. I think, 2023 draft pick. So he's got, 4-year deal. So he's got still 2 more years on his contract, but next year will be a contract year for him. And he wants to do well and prove the doubters wrong. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, this has been an ongoing conversation we've had. Like, we all want Servassier to be the guy that takes the reins and runs with it, right?
Yeah.
But like the injury history, it is what it is, and that's why I think the insurance of Anthony Walker and Deion Jones is serviceable because they're veterans. They know how to play in the NFL. They know they're smarter guys. I can see the reasoning behind them. It's not just a young whippersnapper that's just going to go full speed and not know what the hell he's doing. But like I said, it's going to hurt your special teams because those guys likely won't be playing much, even though Deion Jones was playing in that playoff game. But I mean, let's see. Either way, Servassier in some capacity, if healthy, is a damn good player.
Yeah.
And a very instinctive player, natural instincts. And I don't know, you want him to win it. You want him to take it away. But I think Anthony Walker and Deion Jones playing next to Levante is more than good enough for this defense, considering the whole of the team. Because we haven't even mentioned Hassan Reddick, and that's going to help everyone.
Yeah, for sure. I think Servassier is definitely serviceable. and yeah, if you see the comment here by Fukuwa, this is great stuff. Yeah, definitely if it's week 5 and we have to sign Ryan Neal, then obviously that's a problem. And a lot of people are talking about Shiloh Sanders. I'm just going to say this very kindly, pump the brakes when it comes to Shiloh Sanders. I'm in the middle of doing a very exclusive film study of him and trying to make sure I have every angle and everything looked at properly from a pass and run standpoint. Right now, I'm waiting for something to pop. I haven't seen any flashes yet, so I'm hoping something comes through here soon with Shiloh Sanders. But yeah, I mean, it's rough.
I mean, but either way, he's got the easiest path to make the team because safety behind Winfield and Tyke, there's not much.
Yeah.
But still, like, I can see him making it as special teams instead of being on the roster. But then again, like I mentioned, special teams, we need some guys to show up. And if he does that in preseason, there's a roster spot for you.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm going to put. So there you go. There's the schedule up. As we take a look, Mark will be right back. But let us know what your guys' thoughts are on the schedule. Like, what games are you looking forward to? You know, obviously we talked a lot about division games in this, and I think there's some tough stretches. I think that's been talked about. But when you look at it, the Falcons, to start off, I think is really cool. Basically, that first 4 weeks, I think, is going to be a good tell of how this team is set up for not only the beginning of the season, but moving on into the other parts of the season. So that should be very intriguing. And we talked about this, like, let's say the Buccaneers start 2-0, go into week 3, and then all of a sudden they lay a goose egg and lose that game like they did much so last year against Denver. Just didn't come ready to play. So I'm hoping with the maturity of this team and the experiences that they've been through, times like that is out the window, and we just come prepared to play, or at least start the game fast in a more urgent capacity, and don't allow these teams that we should beat take advantage of us. Like, I look at, so the games that I have in mind that we should win, you look at the Jets, Mark, you look at Seattle, I think it's a winnable game. Trying to think, obviously Patriots, Cardinals, really the back half of the schedule, those are all very winnable games. I think you match up well against the Eagles. I think you match up well against the 49ers, and even Detroit. I think we match up better. So those are all very winnable, in my opinion. We just can't have those like goose egg games where we just come in and it's like, oh, here it is, quicksand all over, and we're just not going to be able to find a way to win.
Yeah, I always go back to Todd Bowles' statement. Like a lot of the stuff I remember, like Todd Bowles saying good teams don't lose 2 games in a row. And it's frustrating, the fact that we've lost so many in a row throughout his tenure in the middle of the season. So bearing injuries or not, like, you still got to find ways to win games, because that's his thing too. Like, he says, we're in every game. Okay, well, you're in every game. You got to win. You got to find a way to win every game, not just be in it. And it's frustrating that, and a lot of them are the decisions at the end of the game, like the Chiefs game. What the hell are you doing? You got to go for the win. And even the Falcons game, what are you doing? So, but he's making changes to improve. Like, he got his guy that came in to help with clock management. Thank you, Todd. I mean, he's not blind to the situations that's happening. He's just slow to change. And I think in his own way, that is a smart move, because you don't want to do anything knee jerk, right? Yeah. Tell Baker to call heads in OT games. But yeah. To the end all be all, win the games that you should win, especially if they're at home. You can't throw goose eggs at home. Like, you have the heat to your advantage most of the damn times. No one's used to this nasty, disgusting humidity that we have here. That should be a shoe-in win. All I remember is Donovan Smith puking on the sidelines. No one can match up to that. Use that to your advantage. Your defensive and offensive lines are dogs. Get after it. Second halves of these games should be you're pulling away, especially at home. Mm-hmm. So you can't be doing this, because for years under Todd Bowles, we're almost worse at home than we are away. And that's another frustrating fact about Todd Bowles. What is it? And it's a mindset thing. Mm-hmm. Like, they need to find a way where it's like, no, turn the light on every damn day and leave it on. Stop thinking you're better than the other team. That Devin White mentality has got to be gone. It's gone and left. Let's move forward and turn a new beginning to being a dominant team that's consistent. Mm-hmm. And let's see. I mean, again, it's a new chapter. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm with you, and that's something that, like, just irks me as far as what the secondary coaches were talking about. It seemed like all the focus was still too much in the past, instead of figuring out what we need to do better for this upcoming season. And like, that is what they're trying to do as far as Todd Bowles is concerned. Like, no, we are going to have all you guys meet together. So this kind of stuff doesn't happen in season, because it's been going on way too long where guys are not in the right spot. Because if you were in the right spot, then guess what? My defense works and I don't look like the idiot out here, calling these plays. So I think that is a good move by Coach Bowles. I have to give him credit with that. And also, you mentioned the game clock manager. I think that's important. So he understands his flaws. Like, I think that is something of a good coach. That's what good coaches do. They grow, they learn, they continue to adapt and continue to get better. So hopefully we see that. And, when we look at these rookies, I mean, we're already seeing guys like Benjamin Morrison come into the play and making, good plays. At least he looked working out as far as athletically in the rookie minicamp. So that's good. He's on his way back, should be full go come preseason. And to see him get a lot of work and a lot of reps in these preseason games, I'm very excited for. Same thing for Jacob Parrish, another guy who made some noise in the rookie minicamp, got a couple interceptions. So this should be fun to see these guys and get a lot of good early looks at them.
Yeah, and that's what you mentioned, like in the beginning of the podcast, like our depth at the cornerback position, where what's his name, Bryce Hall is literally your fifth corner. That's phenomenal, and that's just adding to. Okay, you got the young guys with juice wanting to get after it, add competition, but you have also veterans that are not wanting to give up their position and want to stay in the front in competitive games and showing that their awareness and just level of play is higher than these young guys because they know what the hell's coming. Right. So that's the best thing. Competition. Like Mike Caldwell said with the middle linebacker position, you got veterans going against young guys. Yep. That's going to iron sharpens iron. You're going to get the most out of everyone based off of that. And the fact is, the whole team knows that they wanted a direction of winning games. And that's what I want to hear. And you have question marks here and there, but they're not massive question marks like other teams. Yeah. It's more little things that you need to fix to win games, regardless of the fact we were in every damn game. Mm-hmm. We just need to find a way to win them. And we brought damn near everyone back on offense and improved on that. Yeah, you lost your play caller, but still, bread and butter's there. You know what works, add to it. Yeah. Mix and match it. Defensively, you needed to fix everything. Guess what? Your head coach is a defensive mastermind, right? Let's see if he can bring his new influx of guys he got in, sprinkle in something, bring in Hassan Reddick, give you some front four win rate, and the secondary doesn't have to be running around for 7 seconds because you didn't get pass rush, right? So I think what you're hearing, it's all good things, but let's see it put together on the field. And I'm anxious for that. I mean, either way, but I wanted to mention this. This was a hell of a good comment. Thank you. Stank is my baby's daddy.
That's awesome.
So I watched 3 podcasts, Loose Cannons, Pewter Report, this one, and somehow you guys do a nice job of falling right in between the vibe of those 2 shows. That was a very nice comment. I feel like we try to do that, give as much knowledge and just opinion that we can give, but keep it lighthearted. It doesn't have to be a thumb up our ass. Like we're just bringing the tie up to our throat kind of thing. So, I mean, thank you for that. Very much appreciated, buddy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I think, we're just trying to be that right balance. I try to give a lot of knowledge and a lot of facts, but also, I tend to give some opinions out there that, get some people talking, and that's what we're trying to do. Try to drive the, the discussion and try to bring something different. It's always new perspective. It's how we see things, how we look on tape, how, what are we seeing on tape, and we're going to flat out tell you, okay, he's not a good player. This is why. We do that a lot, namely Logan Hall, but that's another story. That's another story. And, that will probably be a film study that will come probably later this summer we'll do a extensive Logan Hall film study. That'll be a lot of fun. Should get a lot of clicks, a lot of views, and should be a lot of discussion with that one. But yeah, we have more Buccaneer film studies because I know people want to see that, and we'll try to get that going. I know we got most of the draft class pretty much wrapped up, so be sure to check that out. And then we still have a couple more undrafted free agent guys that I want to get into. We'll probably get Shiloh Sanders here soon, and then maybe some other names as well. But if there's anyone you guys want to look at specifically, please let us know. We'll try to fit it in and definitely get it out there on the channel.
Yeah, and that's like, I think that's our biggest thing of what we try and bring to you guys. Like what we see on film, like we're obsessive fans. We want to show it to you guys, not hold any secrets. It's like, yeah, why the hell did we lose a game? It's frustrating, and we want to get it out to you guys. And if we're wrong, if you see it from a different perspective, let us know, and we can talk about it and be like, okay, maybe that is right? Because like last year, a lot of the things I was looking at, I was like, why is Levante being sent in so many damn times at blitz? That's not his main thing. And it was like, oh, because Devin White's not there. He's the only guy that could go after it like a dog. That was just one good thing he could do. Look what happened. We had no pressure. It was like, what the hell? So we get on these things pretty fast because we're just more in tune with it. And we kind of just want to share that with you guys. But the banter making us think helps a lot. Like I love the chat. It's in a late Saturday night. You guys are bringing it. And thank you for being a part of Real Bucs Talk. And it's fun. Like we're trying to just bring it this year and just expand even more. Plus got a new shiny computer. So he's ready to rock and roll.
Yep, absolutely. Graham Barton, yeah, I think that's one we'll definitely get into. Like, what can he improve on? And obviously, we're hoping to see him take that next step, very similar to Cody Mock and how he really grew as a player. So that should be interesting. Mark Andrew with a good one here. Watch the Charlie Strong interview. I think he said Logan Hall asked him about improving his game. Then he told him your best move is your swim move. Focus on that. Yeah, I mean, if they are going to lean into the swim move for Logan Hall, I'm all for it because that's the one move that he does win on. And if he's successful, I think the biggest thing for him is can he show functional athleticism, still maintain his balance as he's moving forward. That's his biggest issue, in my opinion, because a lot of times he'll make a move, he'll win, but then he's ending up on the ground. And I'm like, why did you transport 7 feet to the right when there was no reason to transport that way? So it's like just little things like if he can maintain his leverage, and again, he plays high. So that's the thing. That's why he wins with a swim move. If they're going to go all in on that, then I'm okay with it. But let's see if he can find a way to maintain his balance and use that athleticism to his advantage. But before I go on a tangent on Logan Hall, which I already did, I want to go back to talking about Josh Gazard, because I think there were some really good points made about him. Yes, new offensive coordinator, but I will just say when you add this guy right here, who I'm about to put on the screen, and Emeka Egbuka, and be sure to check out the video we did of him and Chris Godwin yesterday. It was a lot of fun. I think this is why you add a guy like this, because you basically make your offense very tough to stop, even in a standard sense. Like you could roll out 4 wide receiver sets, like one of the comments said earlier, and it would be a lot of fun to see how defenses are going to stop that. I just don't think it's going to be something easy that they're going to come forward with. It's going to be a real challenge. And I think to have that with a new first-year play caller, I think, yeah, it could be maybe intimidating because you have to find a way to get all these guys the football, but I don't think you worry about that. I think what you do is you just find to set up the best matchup and you make sure Baker gets the ball to that guy.
Yeah, I mean, I think in their way, it's like set up to try and beat me. And you said it best, like right after they drafted him. It's like, look what they looked like in the Super Bowl season with Tom Brady. Yeah. They were stacked everywhere. I'm not saying that these guys are Hall of Famers, but they all have potential to be like number 1, number 2 guys, like elite level guys. Like we had Evans, Godwin, Antonio Brown, Rob Gronkowski, Lenny Fournette. Like it was a loaded roster. And then I remember at the beginning of the Stan podcast, someone was saying like, "Oh, what if Bucky gets hurt?"
Yep.
You have Sean Tucker wanting to freaking be the guy, and then he won Player of the Week one week where he had like 250 yards of total offense against the Saints. Like we're stacked on offense. I don't think people really clearly the media, national media, has no clue what the hell the Buccaneers have, and their whole offense is returning, and offensive line returning. Baker Mayfield with a chip on his shoulder every damn day, returning.
Yeah.
Like it's just so much in your favor on offense. Okay, yeah, you're without your play caller for the third year in a row. Okay, well, guess what? Todd Bowles understands how to roll with this, knows how to get them reps in training camp.
That's basically the defense right there. I think that's what they're going to be seeing. Like it's going to be, population you, bro. Like that's it's going to be that type of situation. I mean, we were talking. We didn't put this in the video, but the chatter offline of making that a Mecca Chris Godwin kind of comparison video. We talked about inside the red zone. I mean, I think it would be very intriguing to see like the correlation from this year to last year and like how much better can this team be in the red zone. Like 60% is not out of the question as far as a red zone percentage. I think they should be right there.
I can't. Yeah. I know what I was going to say. I mean, when we look at the schedule, maybe we'll look at it again, pessimistic, optimistic person. But I mean, even bearing an injury to a player or even a drop off of Mike Evans because he's getting older per se. I mean, it's difficult to see where they aren't really efficient. And then if Grizzard actually does bring different wrinkles where he's bringing even more motion, especially with the receivers in the backfield, not just motioning, just running backs and stuff like that. Like the ability to use so many guys. Sean Tucker, I guarantee, is chomping at the bit to get into the rotation.
Yeah.
And like with people saying, what if Bucky gets hurt? I don't think he shouldn't be force fed as much just so you don't get him hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I mean, you got so much talent in the running back room, not to mention the offensive lines together. And then you can bring in and out Godwin and Ibuka. I mean, it's going to be fun to watch. And it'll be telling to be like, okay, well, maybe it is a play caller that's messing up because if they're not being that consistent, right? Is it the players or is it the plays? And that's where you're going to see it because you're stacked. What's going on? Because everything else is almost a carryover. So what is Grizzard doing? So it's almost pressure on Grizzard more than anything, right?
Yeah, for sure. Good question here from Ken Barrett. He's asking, what are the odds Bulls can get us to 12 wins with a favorable schedule? I'm cool with 10, but he needs 11. I still think his seat is a little warm. Yeah, I think there's still a lot of pressure on Todd Bowles. I think we were at a point last year where you saw it basically on this channel. We were thinking he was going to be fired. If they didn't get that win in Carolina and Anthony Nelson doesn't force that fumble, Todd Bowles is probably not the head coach. Do they make that move for Liam Coleman? I don't know. That's probably a little bit too early. I don't know if that would have been the plan, but yeah, Bowles probably not here, and it'd probably be a whole different offseason than what we've seen so far. So I think 12 wins is definitely capable. I think they have the potential to make it, but we'll see. I mean, just a lot of things have to go right. I think 11 is definitely in range, though. I think 11 should be the minimum if it's me. If everything's healthy, I don't see a reason why they can't get 11.
I mean, 10 should be the floor, to be honest. I mean, if it's anything below 10, it's like, what the hell happened? That's Baker getting hurt, if it's below 10.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, that's just any team. If they lose their starting quarterback to where you're at.
Right.
I mean, yeah, it's a lot of pressure on Grizz to keep us where we're at. But still, like, the players you have to your disposal. That's why we got so many good opportunities of also offensive coordinators, and that's why probably Todd Bowles and Jason Light were steady Eddie and letting the process go, because guys were like, holy shit, I need this job because I can use these guys in so many different ways.
Mm-hmm.
I have so much to use. And then add all the Adebuka to it. Bucky shows you what the hell the running game could be. You have a potential top 10 in both pass and running.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone wants that as a job application to get to be a head coach, right? So it is in his hands. It's pressure on him, but it's also not that much pressure because you have elite players at those positions.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not necessarily mad about it. I think it's going to be on Todd Bowles on the decisions at the end of the games, and can your defense stop a nosebleed, right? I mean, Hassan Reddick's a massive addition. The cornerback depth, massive addition. Can your inside linebacker stay healthy and Servassier be that guy you need to give you the added pressure in the A-gap blitzes, but also instinctual enough to drop back and cover? We're just not doing twirly ballerina twists in the middle of your damn field like Devin White would do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but I'm leaning more towards him. Yes. Todd Bowles is correct because, like you just said earlier, like at the end of the seasons, he makes adjustments. It may be slow, but it happens. So, bearing no injury, let's see what the hell happens, because Super Bowl year, everyone was freaking healthy on that defense. So it does matter when you get hot at the right time and the players you have at your disposal. But I think they're deep enough where they can actually withstand a hit or two.
Yeah,
because last year was an enigma, guys. Like
I
that
think
was a lot
that's
of injured guys.
Yeah, I think that's what has me intrigued with their ability to. I want to see if Todd Bowles makes adjustments quicker this year because he has more capable players, especially in the secondary. Outside of maybe safety, safety's still a question mark, but cornerback for sure, you still have a lot more bodies to go to. And I want to see if that adjustment takes place sooner than just waiting on someone to step up, whether that's Shamel Dean or Zion McCollum. I think McCollum's on his way to being a really good player. Yeah. And same thing with like Servassier. If Servassier comes out and he's healthy, everything's fine with him. But let's say he's just not playing well enough. Does he make that switch to go to Anthony Walker full time and maybe let Servassier watch a veteran, maybe take a little bit less off his plate and get him more comfortable playing every down? So I just want to see him have those in mind. And then another adjustment is the pass rush. If like certain guys up front are just not consistent enough, does he make changes? Does he allow David Walker to play more? Does he allow Chris Braswell to get more snaps? Stuff like that. If something's not clicking, are they going to run more with their A team instead of having that hockey rotation that they're talking about, and do a little bit more of the veteran guys and let them go make those plays and make sure they have them in on important third downs? Because I mean, Ken said it here, getting stops on third and longs, that's what it comes down to. And I think that's why you sign Hassan Reddick for those situations. That's why you drafted David Walker, Kalijah Kancey, Yaya Diaby. These guys you're counting on, Vita Vea. Like, make sure they're in the game in these important moments.
Right. So with that said, I'm going to go with my both optimistic and pessimistic view. Okay. So like you just mentioned pessimistic, like last year was literally the hockey rotation. There was no linebacker next to Levante David that was a name. It was a new name almost every other down. It was Britt, Russell, Deion Jones. It just kept filtering in and out because when Servassier left, they didn't have an answer, and Britt was clearly not the answer, and they had to keep subbing someone in because he was a liability in pass coverage. But the thing is, they still rotated him in and out at the beginning of the season. Servassier was not the starter. Britt was. Was that just because he was the guy from last year? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But my optimistic view of this is Servassier does take over immediately and prove he's that guy. And then even more optimistically, on third downs, like Ken's saying, just get off the freaking field. you can use Servassier in a fashion of ways where it's either covering a linebacker on the flats or sending him, because he was a hell of a good blitzing linebacker back in the day in college.
Yeah.
And he showed it in a limited capacity here with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And you have him, Anthony Walker, and Levante David on the field. You just have a stacked front seven where everyone, who the hell's coming in? You just give a whole variety of ways, like I don't know. The quarterback's questioning so much, but that's health as well. Anthony Walker's a hell of a good, instinctual, knowledgeable player. He thinks the game. And I think even the coaches said that. Mike Caldwell said that. So if you get a guy that can think the game and cover, and he's even said it publicly, he's like, no, watch my pass reps. I'm not letting anyone get behind me. It's going to be in front of me. I'm going to stop you. So a guy that's that confident, okay, I'll take that with a guy that, like a weapon like Servassier, if healthy, he is a weapon. It's just what version of that we're going to get. We're going to get the injuries, or we're going to get health and where we can be the attack. And it's cool to think about, but Todd Bowles sees it. It's just, what can we bring on Sundays?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of great points there. Supply and demand, you were doing so well, but I just can't with this one. Yaya was a good football player last year. I know a lot of people just want sacks and stuff, but he was actually one of our better pass rushers. I think his leap is going to be another one this year. I expect him to be one of our top players, especially alongside Hassan Reddick. That is definitely going to help us. So, yeah, I mean, he was really good last year in the NFL. Be sure to, hey, we got a film study of him up on the channel. We did highlights of last year, so be sure to check that out. Yeah, a lot of good conversation here in the chat. We appreciate everyone in here. Got over 100 people. With that said, be sure to hit that like button. We appreciate all the support you guys give us. Hit that like button, and helps our YouTube channel grow and continue to grow, and that's what we're looking to do. We got some things planned for you. We just don't have them all lined up yet, but very exciting times here up on the channel coming up, especially this season. I think we have a very good outline of a plan that we're going to try to execute very well. We're going to do our best to put it out there, and yeah, we just got a lot of good things. We got future, memberships, I think, on the way. We're going to try to incorporate, just give you some more exclusive content, and also just, you can show your love to the channel. So I think there's going to be a lot of fun things that we're trying to bring out. We're going to try to bring in an exclusive chat where you guys can actually talk with us on a separate app. So you don't have to, middle of your day, if you just want to hit us up on Real Bucs Psych, you can do that and, chat with us. So just opening up avenues for the channel that we're going to try to bring this season and going into next season. And with all your support, that helps us even grow more, where we can make the content much more better. We've been trying to do some things productive wise. I'm trying to get our production value up as I continue to work on that. So hopefully we can continue to, make the channel that much better and make it something where you guys just have an outlet to come to and really enjoy everything that you see.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Let's drink together. Let's talk football. This is literally the water cooler for Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yep.
We're going to keep it edgy, but also educational, because we really do like to figure things out, but also we like to shit talk. So if someone deserves shit talk, it's going to get put out. You know what, bud?
Yeah.
Woo! There you go.
Yeah. Appreciate it, bud. Ken. Appreciate it, man.
And I want to say this. I am looking, guys, I know I said this during the draft. We are in process of finding where, when you do this, when you guys put up these super chats, you're definitely getting a woo immediately with subscriptions, with super chats, everything. Could you imagine just telling all of us to shut the hell up because you gave a damn super chat? You just hear like 100 damn woos in a row. That'd be hilarious.
Yep, absolutely. So yeah, we got things cooking. I know it's taken us some time to get here, but we appreciate all the support. We're finally putting everything in place. We're going to continue to add things, and hopefully it's going to be a very exciting time. And Yeah, I think the upcoming season, what this team has been able to accomplish this offseason, I think is really strong. Now it just comes down to, can we stay healthy? And with the players on offense, can Baker avoid those high volatile games where the turnovers happen and things kind of go downhill? With a better defense on that side of the ball, does that help him rein that in and bring that balance where he feels, okay, I can trust my defense. They can get me the ball back. I don't have to force things in a certain situation, and just play a little bit better under control and utilize his options of the best of his ability. With that said, I mean, the guy put up 40 freaking touchdowns last year, so he's doing something right. He's still a very good football player. I think he gets extremely undervalued. And I think some of that comes into like those predictions we talked about earlier with us not winning the division. Like some of that plays into it because they look at head coach, they look at quarterback, and they feel those are two weaknesses for this team.
It's wild.
At the other time, we see it a little bit different. Maybe it's through red colored pewter glasses, but we see it at an objective level. We see what they're trying to do, and we see that they're trying to improve as far as where they have been, and they're trying to get to that next level. And with the pieces around Baker, you have to feel confident. And the same thing with Todd Bowles, like making the secondary coaching changes. That's huge. Like meeting together, that's very important. It's not talked about enough.
Yeah, it is frustrating to see like they weren't necessarily a good united front, but it's also okay. It's ruffling tail feathers, so that now they are going to have to get accountability every week from George Edwards walking around saying, "Okay, well, this is what their plan of the front seven is going to be doing. What are you implementing this week that's going to work with them? And do they know when this is called? This is what they have to do, or else someone's getting their ass called out, right?"
Yeah, for sure.
Usually it was just the secondary calling each other out.
Yeah.
Now everyone has to be together because listen, I went in. Why the hell weren't you there? Right.
Mhm.
And that's usually things you think that should have been known, but when it's just individual rooms, well, maybe the communication wasn't all the way there. I mean, it's hard to be yelling in the middle of the damn stadium from the safety position to the corner to the linebacker all the way to the damn Vita.
Yeah.
Right. So,
Yeah.
hey, either way, like I think it's nothing but good. There should be nothing but communication. I wanted to like I remember when you were talking with John Ledger last Monday.
Yeah.
Well, I was wondering because Mike Tomlin was here during the Super Bowl year with Gruden, and that's what they did. I'm wondering if because he kept saying the difference between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Pittsburgh was their defense got turnovers.
Yeah.
They could lean on their defense. We couldn't do that at all last year.
No.
So is it because Tomlin's still doing that? Everyone together is meeting so we can force turnovers. And if that is the simple ticket and we start forcing it, shit, 12 is going to be the floor for wins, like Ken was saying. And because like this offense is too dynamic, and you can fire on all cylinders if healthy. Even if one or two are gone, I still see where things could be still firing all cylinders. So it's going to be fun if that's truly this one simple thing, one simple fix. Hell, if Dean and Winfield catch a ball, because even that was a critic of Kevin Ross said, if Dean catches a ball, we're not talking about this.
Yeah.
And he even said it if Winfield catches a ball. I think like three of the interceptions he should have had, he just dropped it.
Yeah.
And he played what? Freaking 2 games. I'm joking. But still, like, he's around the ball. We just need to secure the ball to get the ball for our offense. And with that long-winded thing, I think you were just making it about Baker Mayfield just not turning the ball over.
Yeah.
But also, is that on Grizzard too to limit that? I know it's the defense actually limiting the points, but also Grizzard, is he going to limit him or enhance him and say, no, listen, get this shit out faster? Like it's an in between. It's a little bit of both defense and offense.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely something to look into, and I'm sure we'll have a Baker Mayfield film study. But he was the passing yards leader last year for passes completed behind the line of scrimmage. So I think that shows you. Yes, appreciate it, Chris. Chris Cole. A lot of talk here, and this probably be our last subject, then we'll head on out. But a lot of talk about Tez Johnson. Again, that's another one I will just pump the brakes on. I think he is a exciting player, obviously an exciting vocal player. He really knows how to talk. You know, he's very confident, has very good energy, very good personality, which is awesome to see, especially in front of the camera. I think it was Kay Adams who joked to get him on a podcast, and I was like, "Well, we have a seat open anytime he's welcome to join." Yeah, that would be fun. But yeah, I would just say pump the brakes because I worry about his hands, his overall hand catching. That is something of an issue for him, and we saw it in our film study. As a pure receiver, I think it's going to be a challenge for him to get on the field as far as offensive plays. Special teams is going to be the key for him. Can he win that return job like he claims it is his already? Can he come out and do that? Can he be tough? Can he be physical, getting yards after the catch for the punt and get upfield in a hurry? So that's going to be really important.
Yeah, I mean, just bring up the depth chart right there.
Yeah.
I mean, look how stacked. I mean, we drafted Ibuka in the first round to go with Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Jalen McMillan, and then that's 4. So then you brought back Sterling Shepard. You still have Trey Palmer wanting to make it, and he was your punt returner, even though he wasn't the best punt returner. He has concussion issues. Ryan Miller caught a touchdown last year. He's not going to just give up his job. Cameron Johnson, they loved him last training camp. Does he have some special ability to be a special teams player? Because Tez Johnson is not going to be a gunner. Let's put it that way. Like, he's just way too small. There's no way he's going to be flying out there and tackling guys.
Yeah.
So what other than special, if he has to win it based off of special teams returning job, a punt return, that's his only way he makes the roster, because he's not going to be out there blocking no one. Yep. He's not going to be out there depending to be, he's going to be our slot. No, because you have so many other guys could be that, because you have your other lead dogs that are your front 4. There's just not enough space. So he has to win it based off of that one special teams return job. And that's why I made sure to mention at the beginning of this live stream, like, who the hell are your special teams players? Who are your gunners? Because another tackler, which we weren't happy about when he played on the act of game day starting, Josh Hayes, is a good special teams player.
He's okay.
He was, again, like, talking
he
about
misses a lot of plays, but he gets down there. He gets down there in a hurry. I'll give him that.
But still, who the hell else is available though? That's my thing. Like, is Taz Johnson going to be your gunner running down the damn field at 150?
I think that's probably why they brought in, like, you have Kendall Vildor. I think even like Bryce Hall could be a special teams guy. Safeties, Kayvon Merriweather, I thought was okay there.
As a gunner though, you can put him as a gunner.
Maybe not as a gunner. I don't know. We'll have to see. Again, that's
right.
That's the subject to be determined. But they'll find ways. They'll find the best athletes. I wouldn't be surprised if you see, maybe a Mecca Ibuka get down there. I mean, I don't think they'll do that.
I would hope Jacob Parrish, but I don't know if you would put Benjamin Morrison with his injury.
They might. I mean, if he's full go, he's full go. I mean, he's gonna have to be out there. You'll probably still see. I know during the Super Bowl year they used to have like starters on special teams, so you might see a few starters. Servase Dennis, I wouldn't be surprised if he's out there on special teams. So,
yeah, but it's just a strong question mark of your. It just breaks me of your saying of the special teams as a cold sore.
Yeah,
of this team.
That was a few years back. Yeah, that was the post Super Bowl year. What was it, 2021? Yeah, I remember you talking about that during when John Ledyard was on the live, and I think I was still in Vegas at the time because I couldn't get back for that Monday show. So yeah, that was that was a funny comparison.
But I mean, it's true. Like who the hell fills in for that? Like, so it's an ongoing question mark. You have a lot of offensive firepower, but who can transition? Like, who do you cut? That's why I'm saying like Tez Johnson's going to be a struggle to make the team. He's going to just make the team.
Yeah.
And if he does make the team, that means your special teams is limited in how they
Right.
stop the other team, not just how you push your agenda on returns.
Mhm.
How do you stop the other team from returning on you?
Yeah.
So it's another wrinkle of the game where if they keep starting 20 or 30 yards down the field because they got a big return, oops, defense is hurt. So like a lot of people don't really see special teams as much as a dominant thing, a good thing.
Well,
It is until your
we
punter
did get-
sucks or your kicker sucks.
Yeah, we did upgrade the punter position, so that's good. With Riley Dixon, I think he's a very capable punter. He will be consistent, so you don't have to worry about that. So I think that's important. That's very important to know. So adding those pieces and then figuring out the gunner situation, that will play itself out. You have a lot of young pieces there that can be utilized, a lot of speed, especially the Christian Isian. You can utilize just more of those guys per se to be your gunners. So even Zion McCollum, I wouldn't be surprised if they used him at times. Because again, he's just so athletic and his ability to get downfield. But if I had to put money on it, I would probably say like Jacob Parrish, JJ Roberts. If he does make the team, he's someone to watch out for.
Speed. Yeah.
Just a lot of good athletes there. And then linebacker as well, whether that's Deion Jones just getting downhill. So there's options. Again, if you punt the ball better, don't let the guy return it, then you're good to go. Same thing with kickoffs. It's just going to be interesting because now you're going to have to cover because you just don't want that ball to be a touchback and end up at the 35-yard line now. So yeah, that will definitely add some more strategy to that aspect for sure.
Yeah, I mean, overall, like there's so much more to talk. I mean, I know we love this chat going on. Like everyone's actually mentioning other guys, Santi Samuel Jr. to bring in and stuff like that. But
yeah,
I mean,
don't think they're going to bring any of these guys in as far as free agents. They're just Asante Samuel is another injury mess. Like he just can't get healthy. He's got a back issue that he's working out. And then Rasul Douglas, older player, don't think he's going to be signed. So he might actually already be signed anyway. So I think he got with another team, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, but there's so many little things that we're going to be questioning throughout the off season, and you're going to get more answers closer to the season. We're going to keep trying to bring out film studies to just emphasize how we feel about moving forward. And but the big thing is, there's a lot more question marks on defense than there is on offense.
Yep.
But it was hinted at during the live stream, like if Baker doesn't turn the ball over or have issues where we shoot ourselves in the foot, we're also in a lot more games or winning easier. Right? I mean, some of the pitfalls were his fumbles because he's trying to make too much of a play or throwing interceptions in the back of the end zone or just throwing interceptions because of miscommunication because of injury. But does he take that next step? I mean, he had a hell of a step last year. Does he take another one? Could you imagine if he took another one? And that's the optimistic version of me. But the pessimistic is, Grizzard isn't what Cohen was, and Baker just
is what he is.
Is what he is, right?
Yeah.
He can make great plays, but he also makes bonehead plays. Limit the bonehead and just continue making the right decisions. Because Tom Brady was the best decision maker there ever is, ever would be, whatever the hell that statement is. We all can't expect that. But let's use that as your pinnacle of what you're trying to aim for. Right? So I mean, but Baker has his own thing. I love it. He keeps us in every game. He's not Jameis Winston. I'll say that. He's not Jameis Winston. Man. Let's keep moving forward. I just think there's high. I'm hopefully I'm not blinded by your saying the glasses of the pewter and red. But this offense looks scary, man. Looks scary.
It does, and I think that's what gives you hope. It's like Baker's going to have so many options to look at. There should be an open guy every play. All he has to do is just hit that player. And hopefully that comes to fruition. I think the run game is probably the biggest thing that people are not talking about enough. And we'll probably save that for a next live stream. Maybe if we go live again Monday. I'm not sure what the plans are yet, but this has been a lot of fun, a lot of great chatter, a lot of great talk. We appreciate everyone that joined us here tonight, all the questions, the super chats. It's so appreciated. You guys have no idea how much this means to us. So we just continue to drive, continue to push, and hopefully we're going to continue to build great content for you all. And that's what we're trying to achieve and be one of the best out there. That's what we're trying. Yep. It's going to be a lot of fun as we get closer to the season.
Hey guys, you drive it. Like literally we push because you're pushing us. Like it's fun for us, but it's also like when you bring questions, we're like, wait, what the hell are they talking about? Let's look into that. Is that really some valid reason or something? Like, and I love the banter. Like literally this is what keeps it going. Like we're over an hour and 15 over here talking to you guys because you guys bring the questions and keep the banter going. It's not like we're just spitting out bullshit. It's more stuff that you're bringing up. Like, what do you think about this?
Mm-hmm.
What about that? Like even Pratt's name got our third string quarterback's name got brought up. Pratt is hot garbage.
I think he's talking about Jermaine Pratt for the for the Bengals.
The beginning.
Yeah.
So
but Michael Pratt, yeah, that's another great competition in training camp. Michael Pratt versus Kyle Trask. Everyone wants to see that. It's going to be very good TV for preseason football. I think preseason is going to be very entertaining. We didn't even talk about the Desmond Watson, show that could come to a theater near you. That's going to be a lot of fun. And if he is on the field, we'll put a film study out there because the last film study that we did of him did very well. So there's a lot of interest in seeing that big man, and hopefully he proves us all wrong and he does well and shows good ability. So, yeah.
I mean, we don't even touch on Hassan Reddick. Yeah, because we haven't really seen him in a jersey, and he had a year that was off.
Yeah.
But the dude has potential to be elite, especially in the defense that we have. With Vita Vea and Kalijah Kancey in the middle, it's just once you see it, it's going to be fun. And I know he said, sit the bench on third downs for David Walker. We don't even know what we have in that. Mm-hmm. We saw what he had in small school or college. If he can bring that, holy shit, we're cooking with grits, right? But I just want to see it put to fruition. And again, these are all question marks, guys. Yep. I mean, you don't know until you see it, at least in preseason in some fashion. You can't depend on it. I'm basing off of 5 years of Todd Bowles. So let's see. And either way, it's going to be fun, exciting, and we're going to keep bringing it to you. And hey, it's going to be a fun 2025, 2026 season.
Yeah. I just love how Steven just keeps going with veteran players. We need to add them all. Like just keep bringing them in like it's nothing. Yeah, it's just that's fun. Yeah, just keep adding everybody. But yeah, guys, this has been awesome. We appreciate everyone in the chat. Appreciate all the comments. Hit that like button to help support the channel. And I think that's going to do it for us. And we will be back live probably sometime, hopefully next week, if not the week after. I know we got Memorial Day coming up, but let us know in the comments if you guys like these kind of random live streams. We've been doing them every now and again on Saturday night. So if you guys enjoy this, let us know. We'll try to make it maybe a recurring thing for the future. But with that said, everyone have a great weekend and go Bucs. We'll see you on the next time.
Woo!